This is the process of how I painted my pets for the first time. With this piece that I dedicate to my loving pets, I will be going for realism, naturalism, using acrylics as my medium. In every painting that I create, I always start with the background. This piece is classic inspired, so I will go for raw sienna as my base color and raw umber for shadows. This is Molly, my first living companion when I started residing in the Philippines. It's her bright personality that gets me throughout the day. One thing she's good at, other than doing tricks, is that she's good at reading emotions. She once barked at my school folders, assuming it was one of the reasons that made me unhappy. When I feel down, she stands for me. She stays beside me. Starting with her fur, I used raw sienna on top of raw umber. The light comes from the right. That is where I start to use tapioca over raw sienna. And it is also important making sure that I get the correct pattern of Molly's hair growth. This Cotton, Dad found her on the streets. My dad said she was following him wherever he goes. She really needed help. So he took her home. She looked very unhealthy, malnourished, though she is very strong. So in a few months with proper care, she's doing great. Cotton is very sweet and loving. For her fur, I lightly used raw umber to emphasize raw sienna as she has splotches of orange and to highlight her white fur. I used tapioca over raw sienna. This is Connie, a very shy rabbit. Though every time you come to her, you won't see her not eating because she's very matakaw. I use a mix of ivory black and raw umber under tapioca as she is a gray rabbit with a very warm undertone. I also added titanium white to highlight her fur with a mix of tapioca. She also has a friend, his name is Shiro. He came from my dad's office mate. Unfortunately, he couldn't take care of him anymore, that's why we took him in. I used ivory black under tapioca as he is a white rabbit with a very gray undertone. And to highlight his fur, I added titanium white on top of tapioca. And for his red eyes, nose, and ears, I used cadmium red with a wash of raw umber. For this, I used Van Dyke brown and sepia for highlights. Say hello to Jake, my green parakeet, and for that I used the shade emerald green and light green, and for his blue feathers I used Prussian blue and cobalt blue. I will wash the whole painting of Jake with the raw umber to reduce the bright colors, and for the highlight I used tapioca. And this is Delilah, Jake's girlfriend. In fact, they have a family now. Delilah being a light blue bird, I used Prussian blue and cobalt blue, and tapioca for her head. Again, I used raw umber to wash out the bright colors. Last but not the least, the artist signature. And we're done.